What is up, guys? This is Freddy, and today we're back with a new video on Marvel Contest of Champions. So today we're going to be answering a question that everyone has had in some point in their MCOC career, and that's whether you should or should not use an Awakening Gem on a champion. Now, there are tons of videos out there talking about the best champions to use Awakening Gems on, and they serve its purpose, but you shouldn't just use an Awakening Gem based on that. You should really consider other things before using Awakening Gems because they are very valuable. Now, for this specific video, we're going to be only talking about 4-star and 5-star Awakening Gems. Although there is 2-star and 3-star Awakening Gems in the game, they aren't really rare and they're not really that valuable. So we're only going to be talking about 4-star and 5-star gems exclusively in this video. So the first thing you should consider is how often you get Awakening Gems in the game, in your current position in the game. So if you're a beginner, chances are you aren't getting any 5-star or 4-star Awakening Gems. If you're an intermediate player, you're probably getting 1, maybe 2 Awakening Gems for your 4-stars. And obviously, if you're an advanced or endgame player, you've had your fair amount of Awakening Gems, but you probably don't have many stored up. So you really have to consider how often you get Awakening Gems and use them accordingly. If you don't get that many Awakening Gems, don't use them that often. The second thing you have to consider is the class of the Awakening Gem. Is the Awakening Gem a generic Awakening Gem, or is it a class Awakening Gem? Now, obviously, the generic carries a lot more value and weight than a class Awakening Gem just because of its use. A generic is a lot more diverse. It can be used on any champion as opposed to a class Awakening Gem that can only be used on a certain class. The third thing you have to consider is your roster, and this is going back to the first point. And you really don't want to use an Awakening Gem if you don't have anyone in your roster that needs it. Last thing you want to do is use a gem on a champion that doesn't need it, and on top of that, knowing that you don't get many Awakening Gems at all. So be very careful if you're a beginner going on that threshold, about to become an intermediate player where you start getting 4-star Awakening Gems. You're going to be very excited to use Awakening Gems on your 4-stars, but if you don't have anyone good on your roster, do not use a gem on them. The fourth thing you have to consider is how familiar you are with the champion who you are looking to use an Awakening Gem on. And this is kind of going back to the top champions to use Awakening Gems on type videos. Those are great tools for you to decide who is good to use a gem on. But if you can't use that champion, do not use an Awakening Gem on them. One of those champions that are universally known as being great duped champions is Star-Lord. But if you can't keep a combo going, do not use an Awakening Gem on Star-Lord until you know how to keep a combo going. Same thing with a champion like Ghost Rider, who's very complex in his ability description. If you don't understand how to use a Ghost Rider, don't use an Awakening Gem on Ghost Rider until you have a good understanding of how to use that champion. So the fifth thing you have to consider is that champion available as a 5-star? So obviously, if you're a beginner and intermediate player, chances are you aren't getting 5-stars just yet. You're probably starting to accumulate a few 5-star champion shards, but you aren't getting full 5-star champions. But if you're an advanced or endgame player, obviously you've already started to get 5-star champions, and you're going to continue to get 5-star champions. You really don't want to invest an Awakening Gem on a 4-star that's already available as a 5-star. Just hold on to that gem and use it on someone who isn't a 5-star just yet. So someone that I always say is Wolverine. Wolverine isn't coming to the 5-star crystals anytime soon. Same with Scarlet Witch and Thor. So I always recommend people to use it on Wolverine because he's one of the best duped champions in my opinion. And he's not really that hard to use. But just keep that in mind. Don't use your Awakening Gem on someone who eventually will be replaced. The sixth thing you have to consider is, will that champion be useful in different game content? One of the great examples of this is Wolverine, who can take you through a lot of things in the game. He can take you through quests. He can take you through Alliance War, Alliance Quest, Realm of Legends, Road to the Labyrinth. He is very diverse. Same with someone like Gwenpool, someone like Star-Lord. These are champions that are very diverse in their use. So you really have to consider how much you're going to get out of duping a champion. Now, the last thing you have to consider, and this is considering you went through every other thing and you got a check mark on every other point, you have to consider how much this gem adds to the champion. So again, going back to champions that are very good, you know, Star-Lord, Thor, Wolverine, Iceman, champions that become better than before. Now, Star-Lord isn't a horrible champion when he's unduped, but once he is duped, he is taken to another level. Same with Wolverine. Unduped, he's probably outdone by X-23, but once Wolverine is duped, X-23 is left in the dust. So consider how much this awakening gem adds to the champion. So really, this is a video, just a general guide for you guys who are looking to use an awakening gem. Please leave your comments down below if you think I missed out something, if you think I added something that shouldn't have been on the list. Comment down below if you agree or disagree with me. Like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that all said, I will catch you guys in the next one.